Anti-racist is a code word for anti-white.
What? Oh God.
Are you anti-racist?
Yes, I am.
Then you're anti-white.
I'm not anti-white.
But your PC cult is.
Okay, explain.
Everyone says that there is this race problem.
Who's everyone?
Liberals and respectable conservatives.
So liberals are unrespectable.
They say this race problem will be solved when the third world pours into every white country, and only white countries.
Who is saying this?
Your PC cult demands it.
I don't remember joining any cult.
People who are in a cult don't admit they are in a cult.
I don't even belong to an anti-racist organization. I'm just anti-racist.
But your cult leaders all say the final solution to this race problem is for every white country, and only white countries, to assimilate, i.e. intermarry with all these non-whites.
Well, I guess I'm out. I married a white man.
That doesn't mean you don't support your anti-white leaders when they demand the genocide of my race, the white race.
It's like you don't hear me.
I've been hearing all the things you anti-whites have to say.
Again with the name calling.
Listen, what if I said there was this race problem and this race problem would be solved only if hundreds of millions of non-blacks were brought into every black country, and only black countries?
There's something really familiar about this.
Of course, anti-white. Because I am presenting you with a mirror version of what you anti-whites preach in your religion.
No? It's something else. But keep going, it'll come to me.
Where was I?
Non-blacks going to black countries.
Oh, sorry. Lost my place.
Lost your place. Wait a minute.
What if I said this race problem would be solved only if hundreds of millions of non-blacks were brought into every black country, and only black countries? How long would it take for anyone to realize I'm not talking about a race problem? I'm talking about the final solution to the black problem? And how long would it take for any sane black man to notice this, and what kind of psycho black man wouldn't object to it?
It's starting to come to me.
But if I tell that obvious truth about the ongoing program of genocide against my race, the white race, liberals and respectable conservatives would agree that I am a Nazi who wants to kill 6 million Jews.
That's it.
What? You are calling me a Nazi who wants to kill 6 million Jews?
No, not unless you want to kill 6 million Jews. And, well, we haven't even been talking about Jews yet.
It's just an expression that means.
Yeah, I get it. That's not it. It's Robert Whitaker.
What anti-white crap are you pulling?
You just quote word for word Robert Whitaker's mantra and act like it's your original thoughts? This is hilarious.
And how do I have an intelligent debate with someone who advocates white genocide?
Well, for starters, I do not advocate white genocide.
You say you are anti-racist, but what you are is anti-white.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, I should let you finish Bob's mantra. Well, go ahead. I know it's coming. You can't do your thing without that famous tagline, so give it to me.
Anti-racist is a code word for anti-white.
There it is. Do you feel better now?
Anti-white.
Now let me tell you something. You accuse me of being in some cult.
The anti-white PC cult.
Yes, the anti-white PC cult. Well, there's some irony here.
What's that?
There's one way you can spot a cult. I'm sure there's more than one way, but here's one. Many times there's some central figure. Let's, for the sake of examples, call him Schmob Schmittaker.
Rhymes with Bob Whitaker.
You are smart. Now Schmob Schmittaker has a bunch of admirers. You would almost say they worship Schmob Schmittaker, to the point where they quote his mantra as if it were some holy scriptures. Rather than getting involved in any debate, they have a cheat sheet full of common talking points that they quote, sometimes word for word, sometimes giving variations, but never straying too far from the good Lord Schmittaker's holy word. And much the same way a priest ends with an amen, Schmittaker's followers always end with that famous phrase.
Anti-racist is a code word for anti-white.
Yep. Hello insanity, goodbye intelligence.
Only anti-whites choose to insult us by calling us insane and unintelligent.
How can I be sure of your intelligence when your words are not your own? How can I be sure that your sermon here reflects your original thought?
It does, because I know that the PC cult demands mass immigration into every white country and only white countries. I know that anti-racist is a code word for anti-white.
Who says immigration is a solution to racism?
Your PC cult.
You're not talking to any representative of any cult or religion. You're talking to me now. I do not believe immigration will solve racism. History actually shows it has sparked more racial tension than not. Arguing for or against immigration does not indicate who is racist and who is not. You can argue for stricter immigration laws, which I am actually in favor of, and not be racist. And yet I will not assume someone is anti-white if they argue for less strict immigration laws. That is straw man.
You anti-whites present red herrings that nullify your arguments.
How's that?
You are anti-white. That makes all your arguments nullified. You support murder and genocide on white countries and only white countries.
Which white countries? Certainly not here in the good old USA. This is not a white country and never has been.
Wrong. There have been Caucasian remains found in America older than those you call Native American. America is a white country. They took over. Many nationalities have done this over the history. But only when white people do it are they racist.
Yes, I have heard that ancient white remains were found in America. Way before this became the United States of America. Now when white people came over to America, they didn't annihilate the red people. They pushed them around and took large portions of their land away, but they did not kill off all the red people. And white people brought over black people to this country as slaves. At its foundation, the United States of America was a diverse country, never a white country.
Black people sold other black people into slavery. Does that make slavery right?
No, but it does make what you said another straw man. I've already heard this history lesson as well. But that is not a response to what I told you about the United States not being a white country. Whether the methods were right or wrong, the United States of America has always been a diverse country.
You just don't want to deal with the fact that anti-whites demand the borders of white and only white countries to be taken down. Let the flood of multiple races immigrate and thereby wiping out the whites from their own countries. This is genocide.
By taking that statement for what it is, I can safely say that is a conspiracy theory. Nobody to my knowledge has said this. And you have yet to provide me with proof that someone has. So at best it's a conspiracy theory designed to give you something to embrace. It puts you in the role of the victim and makes all who oppose your views the villains.
You do oppose my views, because you will not listen. Because of my beliefs, you anti-whites call me a Nazi who wants to kill 6 million Jews.
There it is again. When did Jews come into the picture? As of yet you have not stated any of your motives that include murder, so why would I accuse you of killing 6 million Jews? And I think I've done a fair job of listening to what you have to say, or what Bob Whitaker is seemingly saying through you, and responding to it.
You deny there is a white genocide, therefore you are anti-white.
And how can I argue against that? You've presented a damning statement. Because I don't agree with you, I'm anti-white. Because of my beliefs, you label me a panther who wants to kill 6 million whites.
Whatever. Anti-racist is a code word for anti-white.
What if I told you that I believe Louis Farrakhan is racist? Would I still be anti-white?
What if? Always hypothetical with you anti-whites.
I was hoping it was implied that I wasn't being hypothetical but stating my true opinion. Louis Farrakhan is racist against white people. White people are just as much victims of racism as anyone. And racism is not exclusive to white people as the perpetrators. There is anti-Korean racism in Japan as well. People of all different races are guilty of racism against people of all different races.
Anti-racist is a code word for anti-white.
Oh my God, are you serious right now?
Anti-racist is a code word for anti-white. Anti-racist is a code word for anti-white. Anti-racist is a code word for anti-white. Anti-racist is a code word for anti-white.
Uh-oh, I think he's flooded.